call the meeting to order, 7:37 p.m., Wednesday, March 5th.
Councilwoman Selby.
Present.
Councilman Cartacchini.
Not present.
Supervisor Keating.
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Present.
Councilwoman Martin.
Not present.
Councilwoman Lukacek, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we do not have any other preliminary matters tonight, so moving on to item number 2, our regular business. The first item is the correction and adoption of the minutes from the February 19th, 2025 meeting. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I did review the February 19, 2025 draft minutes, and I make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby.
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 2 tonight under our regular business is the consideration of all the fund bills. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. After reviewing the fund bills, I'd like to make a motion to make payments in the total of $129,232.65.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby.
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item number 3 for our meeting tonight is our correspondence. There are 6 items tonight, not too much. They're all on file in the town clerk's office and available in the town board packet. And they are as follows. Item 1 is the NYSEG RG&E Climate Change Resilience Plan for a 5-year cost estimates. Item number 2 is NYSEG and RG&E energy rates and usage solar during frigid temperatures as NYSEG and RG&E remain steady. Item 3 is a NYSEG and RG&E provide reliable data to customers during outages. Item 4 is a Young at Heart Seniors meeting dates and officers and directors. Item 5 is a letter from Erie County Legislature, which the town of Boston was awarded $3,000 for purchasing AED units for our town. Item number 6 is an application for use of meeting facility, and this is for a compliance training for 2025. Again, all those items are on file in the town clerk's office and part of the board packet. Moving on to item number 4, it's our new business, and the first item is requests from the floor. If anyone in the audience would like to come up to the microphone and state any items, please state your name, address, and try to keep it to 3 minutes each. The floor is open.
Hi, my name is Mitch Tucker. Today I'm speaking as chairman of the Conservation Advisory Council for the town of Boston, so my address will be 8500 Boston State Road. I just wanted to report out on our snowshoe event that we had week or so ago. It was a very beautiful day, excellent for the snowshoe event, and we had over 40 participants out building snowmen, doing a scavenger hunt through the town parks, and watching some winter-themed movies and doing some crafts inside. So I just want to say thanks for the town board for providing us the space to do that event and providing funding for it, and thanks to everybody that came out. I also want to remind everybody that we have our annual Youth Fishing Derby coming up in May. That's going to be May 10th, the Saturday before Mother's Day, here at the town parks, town park ponds behind Town Hall. So hope to see lots of folks out fishing at that event. Thanks.
Thank you.
Richard Hawkins, 6892 Pin Oak Drive. Every year, the Boston Democratic Social Club puts on the Easter egg hunt. In the past, Erie County has sponsored the event, so we didn't need the $1 million rider for the grounds and stuff. But, of course, they changed insurance companies, like everybody's doing lately, to get the cheapest rates, and refused to have sponsor the event this year. But we have found at least one and possibly another one, so we're just waiting to see what the cheapest rate is going to be for that day. And I want the town to know that we are still going to continue this year doing the Easter egg hunt after 65 years, come hell or high water. It will go on and stuff. So I just wanted you to know and let the people know in town that the Easter egg hunt will be here this year.
It's good news. Thank you.
Jay Jackson, 7964 Back Creek Road. I had this written down at the last meeting and failed to bring it up, I'm going to wax philosophical. Our past president, some people say one of the best, Abraham Lincoln, in the Gettysburg Address, spoke of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. I'd like to express my gratitude to everybody who's in this room, be they on either side of this railing in here, for being part of the people and by the people. Because it seems anyway these days, for the people is what everyone remembers, and they forget about the other two pieces. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, Deputy. He's like the closing batter, just comes up. And,
I don't want to get in the way.
I got to go to baseball season. Hockey season's almost over, so.
For last month, the Sheriff's Office handled 173 calls in Boston, 61 premise checks, 18 traffic stops. We had a total of 18 accidents. We had 5 arrests, 2 were DWI, 2 were narcotics arrests. And we had a break-in at a business in the last couple days, so we'll be doing some extra checks of some places. Ongoing investigation with that. Thanks for the invites for the installation dinners in the last month or so. I appreciate it. It's nice to work with the fire companies around here and try to do better for the both of us and have good communication. So I appreciate that. Also, thank you. I was at the snowshoe event. Nice turnout. And met some people. We talked about our Explorers program and Child ID, and had some good interactions with some kids, so it was good. And let me know what's coming up. I'm already starting to book up events for May and June, so just email or send me a text and let me know.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to Snowshoe. Thank you.
I had to wear snow cones. Yeah, I'll get you in trouble, Mitch. All right. Anyone else? All right. Hearing nothing else, the floor is closed. Moving right along for our new business. Item number 2 is Resolution 2025-23, adoption of a mobile device policy. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So the adoption of the mobile device policy basically says that the town of Boston is adopting, so the policy and procedures for this year, we've had one before. What was revised?
Actually, it's pretty much a lot of it's new. Our past policy was quite outdated, so this is
the real one now.
This is a complete overhaul, yes.
Okay, so we'll say it's revised, but it's really new. Okay, so the policy talks about the issuance of town-owned devices, authorized use, when to use them, like logging in for work hours, job-related photos, that sort of thing. Applications and software, what you can upload, and distracted driving, that we're not supposed to be using it while we're driving, FYI, yeah. Okay. Security and confidentiality, devices must be password protected, and maintenance and support to promptly discuss everything with the supervisor's office if there's any issues with it, and the return of devices if there is termination, suspension, medical or disability, and any other approved leave of absence. So I will make a motion that we approve the resolution number 2025-23, adoption of mobile device policy.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 3 is Resolution 2025-24, which is an adoption of an ID card policy. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-24, where the town of Boston issues identification cards to employees with their picture. And this is to enhance security, and it would be to enable better security and enable people to access the town hall more secure. So I'd like to make a motion to adopt this ID card policy.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I will add on the ID card policy. Actually, I was listening to feedback from the public too. We've grown our code enforcement office and also our dog control officer. So when they're out working with the public, a lot of people have asked if there's some kind of identification. We've never had something prior to now. So that was one. Listening to the public feedback. That was all derived from feedback from the public, you as the taxpayers. So that's how that policy came about, and the new badges.
Can I ask what happens when you have somebody who is using the facility that's not an employee?
Can you elaborate? What do you mean? I'm sorry.
Well, okay, let's say the Boston Democratic Social Club has the fields, they have the building, or anything else. Are people coming in to vote? Okay, or
This is
any
on-
outside activity that has nothing to do with the town board. Are you going to give them an ID card out of the clerk's office?
This is only town employees.
Okay.
Yeah, only for town employees only. So that way, this is multifaceted. There's since we've been up here as a board, there's a lot's been happened while we've been here. Everything from town board members, and respectfully, our staff, some of our staff in the audience tonight, deemed as essential employees, right? Local government doesn't stop just because there's a pandemic, there's a winter storm, or otherwise. So this is that tool from public feedback to being deemed as essential employee, the IDs, if you I'll continue to elaborate, I guess. So the IDs are only good for a year. So that's what it's a way we're kind of, I'll call it a gatekeeping process, that they do expire. So, Jason Keating stops employment tomorrow. That ID pad should be turned in according to the policy, but if not, it can't be used in 2026. Let's say, we've put safeguards in check, so that way, respectfully, we're all we're all servants of the public. That badge does not get abused or otherwise.
Did you not do the same exact thing, Jason, with the job like you have coming through the door? And the only reason I ask that is because the fire companies.
These have photo IDs. Yeah, it's a photo ID. Yeah. No, good questions. You're welcome. All right. Moving right along, item number 4 is Resolution 2025-25, adoption of a mobile panic button policy. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So the mobile panic button is basically for the safety of the employees that work for the town of Boston. It is mobile, which means that they would be able to obtain emergency immediate assistance in situations where contacting emergency services is not possible or safe to do so. And there's within the policy, it talks about the appropriate use, misuse, maintenance, accessibility, obviously security when it's not in use, and then the training, and then return of the device if they part ways with the town. And each one of these policies, by the way, has the employee acknowledgement and agreement that they understand this policy. So I make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Next item of business is item number 5, Resolution 2025-26, which is an authorization to enter into contractual relationship for design of above-ground fuel storage tanks. I'll take this item tonight. If you haven't heard in the past board meetings, our fuel tanks failed their last fuel inspection, so we need to have the old tanks taken out, new ones designed and engineered and then built. They will not be in-ground. They will be above ground, so we won't have some of the challenges that we're experiencing today. But this resolution 2025-26 is allowing myself as a supervisor to accept the LaBelle & Associates proposal dated March 3rd, 2025 for the design of the above-ground fuel tanks, storage tanks, for a total cost not to exceed $64,020. A motion is on the table.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item number 6 tonight is Resolution 2025-27, which is a seeker. Seeker is the State Environmental Quality Review Act Notice of Intent to Serve as Lead Agency for the Town of Boston Comprehensive Plan Update. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So, as the supervisor had said, the town board approves the full environmental impact EAF, the environmental action, and authorizes us to sign this document, basically saying that the town board designates its intention to serve as lead agency for the proposed action, and will circulate the lead agency notice along with Part 1 of the long form of the environmental assessment and any other supporting documentation to all involved agencies. So I make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 7 is to approve extra tax collection help for the town clerk, and the town clerk has recommended Lois Jackson at a rate of $21.41 per hour. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item tonight?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to approve part-time help for 15 hours per week for 3 to 4 weeks to appoint Lois Jackson, a prior deputy who has lots of experience and does a great job, at $21.41 an hour.
I'll second.
Thank you. Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, next are all use of facility forms. Item 8 is an application for use of facility from the Boston Free Library fundraiser. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
Thank you. So Lydia from our Boston Library is requesting July 24th, 2025 for a fundraiser from 5 to 8 p.m. The setup is starting at 2 p.m. and the takedown would be by ending around 9 p.m. She's asking for the parking and obviously vendors. If y'all haven't been to one, it's awesome. So she's already got the map set up as to where folks would be placed, vendors, the dining area, basket raffle, seating for music, and hot dogs. So I make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's also an ask for consider waiving the facility fee.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot.
It's on the letter.
Yep, and there's a letter on the backside to consider.
Oh, my bad.
Yep. So the Boston Free the Boston Free Library has a contract with the town. So.
Yep.
Yep.
So I make a.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay.
Waiving the fee as
All right.
well.
Thank you. Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Moving right along, item number 9 is our another application for use of facility for the Trooper Brinkerhoff Foundation 5K race. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We have an application for use of facility for our annual Trooper Brinkerhoff Foundation run. That would be on June 14th. Setup time would be 7 a.m. till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm sorry. Setup time is Friday, the 13th in the afternoon. Takedown is Saturday, June 14th from 1 to 2 for the race. The race is from 7 to 1. There will be parking, and I'd like to make a motion to approve this use of facility.
Second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item number 10 tonight is another application for use of facility for the Environmental Service Group. I'll take this item since I've had quite a few conversations with them. I'd like to make a motion to approve this application for use of facility for Environmental Services Group. There's going to be a household hazardous waste and e-waste collection event. I'm going to be talking about this in my report. But this is the use facility for this because the town is not hosting it. They've asked to use our property. They're going to be using the town hall parking lot. They have submitted a parking plan for the traffic flow. They have submitted the check and insurance for the town. So I'd like to make a motion to approve this use facility for the household hazardous waste and e-waste collection event.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby.
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Last item is another application for use of facility from Megan Sadowski. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item tonight?
Sure, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to approve the use of facility for Megan Sadowski. It's going to be on May 4th, 2025, from 12 to 4 for a communion party, less than 50 people, and they're going to be using the Town Hall community room and kitchen and bathroom.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes?
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. We do not have any old business, so on to our reports and presentations. Highway Superintendent,
Yes,
you have the
thank
floor.
you, Mr. Supervisor. First, I'd like to report that the spring street sweeping started today. We're sweeping all the hills and the roads, getting the sand off from the winter plowing. So from now on, if we get snow, we're going to pretty much use just straight salt for the last couple of snowfalls, and that helps clean the roads off also. So to get some of the sand off the road and the dust, and so that, and our spring meltdown for the snow has been going very slow and steady, which is a very good thing. The creeks are pretty much opened up. A couple roads, Rockwood Road and Sherrill Road, we do clean out some of the ditches where we have problems, and everything is going real well there. Other than that, on days when it's not snowing or stuff, the guy's been working on our Dodge dump truck. They put a new floor in the bed of the dump truck, and they painted the frame and underneath the dump box, and painting the whole box on the truck, so they're working on that. Other than that, one of my workers, Billy D. Derzanowski, he fell at home and got hurt, so he's going to be off of work for I don't know how long, but it'll probably be at least 4 weeks. And other than that, I just have a question there for the fuel tanks when you were saying about $64,000. What does that actually include?
That's design and engineering from designing the above ground tanks. It's all listed in there, but it's the design, engineering, and follow up of that whole project.
All right, so that has nothing to do with taking out the old tanks. That's just the design above.
That's
ground
all new, right?
Okay, that's
Yep.
all I wanted to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. All right. Councilwoman Selby, you have the floor.
Sure. I'm happy to say that I just learned from the supervisor this evening that we're going to get some drainage work done in the long-awaited area of Colonial Drive this year. So thank you to Supervisor Keating working with our Erie County Soil and Water, Mark Gaston, on those projects that are kind of been hanging out there for a little bit. So I'm excited about that with the new drain tile going over there on Colonial Drive. So thank you for that, Mr. Supervisor. Thanks, Rich, for following up and getting that Easter party done. That's always a good thing, the egg hunt. The kids really enjoy that, so I appreciate that. And Mitch, thanks for running that snowshoe event. I usually get to go this week. This year I was out of town, but I'm sure it was a perfect day for that and had plenty of snow. So thanks for putting that on. I appreciate it. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you very much. Councilwoman Lukacek, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So we are having a planning board meeting second Tuesday of this month, so it's coming up. And regarding the mobile panic button, that's actually what the Department of Labor, New York State, requires for their retailers' workplace violence prevention. So some of our retailers in the area are going to be updating their prevention policies and providing the retailers, agencies like us, where we've got people out in the field, it helps provide some protection for them where there may not have been in the past. So just wanted to let you know that that's also related. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. Just to report yesterday's blood drive, there was 26 units collected that helped save the lives of 78 local patients. So again, Boston is on the right track here for the blood drive. And next blood drive will be April 1st from 2 to 7 p.m. in the community room. I want to thank the board for approving Lois Jackson for my text collection help. I was able to utilize Lois for the last several years, so it really is a great help at this time of year because it does get overwhelming at times. And since I'm on tax collection, there will be a few extended hours. Just want to remind the public, hours for Friday, March 14th. My office will be open until 6 p.m. Saturday, March 15th from 9 a.m. to noon. And the last day of collection is Monday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Will be open till 6 p.m. Again, the mobile panic button device, I think it's a great idea. I know there's some things that the town has to pay for with technology that sometimes has a large dollar amount attached to it. I think this is one of the decisions that have been made that will certainly help my office at times of the year when there is large amounts coming in, as well as court. So, and I think that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll start off my report. I have quite a few things because just as a friendly reminder, there is not a board meeting on March 19th. So that was our regular scheduled meeting. We will not have that meeting. So with that being said, I've got quite a few things following up and then also kind of into the future. So I mentioned earlier there's a household hazardous waste event. There will be flyers around Town Hall. This is on the town website. It is on the town social media site. Hazman is a brand or name that you probably are familiar with. They had reached out to the town. Again, the flyers, as it states, April 4th and 5th. These are all-day events from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It will be household hazardous waste and e-waste. And it's not just for Boston residents. It's all for anyone that lives in Erie County or happens to see this flyer. So please feel free to spread the word. Again, it's out on social media. Feel free to share that post. It has been shared to the Boston NY Facebook page and, again, on our town website. But you do need to register for the event. That's how they can track and make sure that they have enough, they're called bulk bins, but they have enough equipment there to meet that demand. Also, one of the differences is that this event, that there is a charge. It's $1.50 per pound for these on-site items. Keep in mind, if you're a Boston taxpayer, a residential taxpayer, this is already in this service. I've had this question, as you might imagine, already. This is already in your solid waste. We were one of the first communities in all of Erie County that brought in waste management with your At Your Door program. Call an 800 number, log into a website, they pick it up at your house. That's already in your tax bill. This is above and beyond. Like I said, this is a separate event for anybody in Erie County, but also listening to some of our other members of within our 36 square miles, those that have a rental property or are part of our rental units or our friends over in the trailer parks that that they don't get all of the services that because they're not a residential home. We've listened to you, and this was part of that program as well. So now you have a way to get rid of your the old gasoline, motor oil, herbicides, pesticides, solvents, aerosol cans, all of that stuff. So please feel free to take a look. If there's any questions, there is a phone number on here, or feel free to call my office. Town clerk is really busy these days, so I'll feel free to take the brunt of some of these calls, but feel free to call my office if you have any questions. But that's the e-waste event. And they've always gone very well. I'm part of the NEST board, and they go very well with Erie County. Those are the events that you hear through Erie County, that 400 spots, and they're gone within an hour. So we're bringing this to you for 2 days. So that's that. Lengthy explanation, but my apologies. I did want to follow up. We got a bunch of updates on our projects before I get into some of my reports. The comprehensive plan, we did the next kind of final last step before that our comprehensive plan update is done. That's the seeker process. That is something that is required for a comprehensive plan update. The town board takes the lead agency. That's what starts the clock ticking. That goes out for approximately a month. Any feedback, et cetera, comes in, we take that into account before we officially adopt that comprehensive plan update. So we have had the good news is, and I'm happy to report, we've had a conversation with New York State Department of State and also Erie County Environment Planning. Both are very happy with the plan as it is in its draft form. Few little tweaks, just some other things. Truthfully, it's actually making it better, but a few little tweaks. So once that's done, it will be out there, and really, I can't wait to get it adopted. It's going to be. I think the public's going to be quite happy. I know some of our local businesses are already happy with what they've seen. Town hall entry. I haven't talked about this in a little while. The town board, if you recall, we passed a resolution. We've worked with Kirst Construction, looking forward to working with them to get the project done. They have ordered the columns. Right now you see timbers that are out there supporting the front porch. They've ordered those columns. Roughly 3 to 5 weeks, depending on manufacturing and all. So once those get in, Kirst Construction will get out there. We'll get that buttoned up. So looking forward to get that project done. Town hall generator, also happy to report tomorrow morning, somewhere between 9 and noon, because they won't give you a time. It's always a window of time. Somewhere between 9 and noon, National Fuel will be out. They'll be hooking up the generator for the town hall. Vendor, once they come out and they test it, they fire it up. Everything gets all systems go. We hook that up to the town hall. That project's done, and then our community room will be able to be potentially served at times of need, such as a warming or cooling center. It's something we'll have to discuss with our town's emergency manager, our first responders with the fire companies and the emergency squad. But that is one of the many opportunities for that generator moving forward to serve our community. Water Phase 1, I do not have an update there. I know there's been a few people asking. We're just waiting for some more snow melt. I know it's supposed to get colder, but hopefully we'll get a little bit more snow to melt away, and I'll be able to provide an update, at least some kind of an updated timeline of what we're looking at for Phase 1 to kick off. And then the fuel tanks, we did discuss that in the resolution. That was design and engineering. The superintendent did, to his point, there was a resolution previously adopted for the removal. Those total costs, because I knew some folks would probably be asking, the removal costs was $46,900. Again, that was in a resolution that we've already passed and adopted that resolution. The cost tonight was the design and engineering at $64,020. So that's where they will design, engineer all the specs. We're going to be reusing some of the it's called the gas buoy system. We're going to be reusing some of that to try to keep a cost savings to the taxpayer, and we're going to hopefully be able to work through what's called a Sourcewell contract to work with a local vendor, so we may not have to go out to bid on this project, which will help keep things moving, and we won't lose the time going out to bid. So stay tuned on that, and I'd be happy to answer any questions from the public as always. So once we get that engineering report, we'll get an idea of what the new tanks are going to cost. A few things on my docket for my supervisor reports. On March 11th, there's been a lot of conversation. I'm not going to get too far into the weeds on this, but there's certainly been a lot of conversation about our current jail situation and our fellow correction officers, the men and women that serve in those facilities. Senator Gallivan is having a leadership call on March 11th, so I plan on attending that. I'll be happy to report any information coming out of that meeting, and he is also going to talk about some of the information coming out of the state budget and how that's going to affect towns and municipalities. On the 13th, I'll be attending a New York State Tier 3 training. This is something that Erie County has put out to supervisors and mayors all across, so respectfully, all of my peer folks, this will be Tier 3 training for emergencies and disasters, so we have the knowledge and the skill set to work with emergencies and manners and or Erie County / New York State in times of floods, tornadoes, and all, because I wish we wouldn't have to talk about tornadoes in New York State, but they're real. They're here. So we're trying to educate ourselves and make sure we put our best foot forward. ERIENet does have, as I sit on that board, ERIENet does have an annual presentation on March 18th, but we do have a timeline according to our last meeting, maybe in the next couple of months. This is the 400 miles of dark fiber build-out. If you're familiar with, if you don't recall or remember what ERIENet is, something that the county executive created its own separate limited distribution corporation, and we are putting 400 miles of dark fiber all across Erie County, and it is going to be, I'm very proud to say, I didn't have any influence. I promise I did not have any influence here. But it's starting in Boston, because this is how we're going to try to get to the southern Erie County areas. So it's a great opportunity, and the anchor points will be public infrastructure such as fire halls, emergency squad, town hall buildings, libraries, et cetera. It's a great opportunity. I think anybody that gets in front of the ERIENet team and hears what we have to offer, and also the program and the pricing that we have, will be quite happy with what's there. So. Stay tuned on that. I'll be happy to provide more as time goes on. March is also Meals on Wheels. Can't forget our folks out there that rely on the Meals on Wheels program. So you'll see elected officials going out and serving Meals on Wheels. But also, I will bring up, and again, nothing political, but there's a lot of focus on Meals on Wheels and funding. There's a lot of change out there, and again, not going to get into politics, but keep in mind, these are people that need these nutritious meals every single day. It's a big deal. We have a congregate dining program downstairs, and it is important. So again, I'm certainly a big advocate for Meals on Wheels. The last year when I went out to serve, we served over 20 meals to people that cannot make it out to our programming. So it's definitely a big deal. And then I already touched base on the fuel tank. Keep in mind, very high level, don't forget, move your clocks ahead this weekend. And last but not least, I haven't talked about this one either in a while, but the Blink EV charging stations that are out behind Town Hall, that was a nice NYSERDA grant, bringing your taxpayer money back to the town for those EV charging stations. We agreed on a price point downstairs. Right, at least as of today, we're looking at setting the pricing at 20 cents per kilowatt hour, and that more than covers the cost of the electricity that respectfully the town is using, but it will also offset additional operational costs. And also, once we key that into the system, get those up and running, more information will be coming, and then of course, we'll make that all that information public, and then people can download the Blink app on their phone. And if you have a hybrid or EV vehicle you need to charge, or the family's there for their kids' soccer game, baseball game, or any one of the events that you just heard tonight, you have an option to charge your EV vehicle on town property. Not as cheap as charging at home, but you have an option. So that is all I have for tonight. So I'll make a motion to end the meeting at 8:12 p.m.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.